Hey everybody, this is Wendy. Welcome. So excited that you're here for week 7 of the 12 weeks of Christmas. Today I have a fun slider card for you, and these are the products that I'm using. Well, the main products. I also used the Tropical Chic bundle, that tab punch, and some Whisper White cardstock, and just a little bit of crumb cake cardstock. So the measurements for everything that I've cut here will be on the screen. And if you have any questions, you can always go look at my blog post. There's a link to it on the page. So we're scoring from the 1/2 inch mark. I've got a ruler right there on my trimmer down to the 1/2 inch, and we're doing it 3/8 of an inch in on each side. So 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch. So there's a 1/2 inch gap. And then we're going to cut from one cut line to the other cut line. And then we're going to flip it around, and we have to score at the top. So we're scoring from this cut line to the other cut line. And this is about a 1/2 inch down, from the top and a 1/2 inch up from the bottom. Then we're scoring at 2.5 inches, but you're only going to score the little center flap. You're not going to score all the way to the edge. Then we're scoring at 4.5 inches, and this creates your little slider piece. Really, really, really easy to do. Then you're going to fold on the score lines, fold up, down, and back up. And that creates your little slider part. I've got a piece of 3" by 5" it's 3.5" by 5" cardstock here. And I'm going to take some tear and tape adhesive and add it to the inside of the tab punch. And then I'm going to add the tab punch to the top of this piece. And this is the piece that you will pull on to slide the card up, or slide the piece up, so that you can reveal the little image on the inside. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Okay, so then we have to adhere the inside slider piece also to the little window piece. If any of this makes sense, I don't I don't know what to call each piece. Okay, so this says ho ho ho, who needs snow, which is adorable. And then we're going to add the tear and tape adhesive right here to this little 1/2 inch tab piece that you've created at the bottom, tucking it in. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to line this up. So I think it's like this is how I'm going to line it up. We're going to go down to the bottom, line this up, adhere it, and stick, and there you go. And now this piece will pull this piece up. Does that make sense? Hope so. You can always pause, go back, slow this video down if you need repeat steps. Again, this information is also typed out on my blog post, and there's a link to that right there on the front screen where you found this video. Okay, so now I'm adding tear and tape adhesive all the way around the edges of this piece, and I'm going to adhere it to the front of this card base. So this card base is cut at 4¼ by 11, and I'm just going to quickly peel these off and adhere them down, or adhere it down to the front of the card base. So now I have a card with a slider window that pops open. All right, next step is to decorate. So I've already stamped and cut out a whole bunch of these little leaves. And I've done that because it's just kind of a little bit time consuming. So I just thought I would speed things up a little bit by pre-stamping and pre-die cutting them. Then I'm adding them all over the lower front panel of the slider window. So this is important. You only want to add stuff to that little lower piece. You don't want to add it to the top, because the top needs to be able to fold. And you also don't want to go too low and add it down where that little 1 inch tab section is. If you do that, then you're going to cause the sliding mechanism to not work as well. So I wanted a little dirt and sand down at the bottom of these leaves. So I went ahead and added some crumb cake cardstock and just kind of did a little tear line on it. Sorry if you hear my dogs chirping and clicking around, they're being silly. And then you can see here, you can just pull it up and then you have these pretty leaves sticking out. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to stamp my Santa right down in front here. And sorry about the camera shake. All right, so I'm stamping my Santa in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to color him in using Stampin' Blend markers. Now, you could color him lots of ways. You could use watercolor pencils, you can use Stampin' Blends, you could use watercolor, or of course, or whatever other product you have. I just chose Stampin' Blends because I knew it would be really quick and easy. You always want to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink when you're using Stampin' Blends because it works really well. You can use that, or you can use regular dye-based ink like any of the Stampin' Up! Ink colors. You just shouldn't use StazOn ink. You shouldn't use a pigment-based ink, just so you know. And then I'm just adding a few little shadows. I'm doing a really, really fast color job here, guys. I am not at all taking my time to do a bunch of shading or anything like that. I put some squiggle lines in the light smoky slate on Santa's beard to just give him a little bit of highlights. I am using Calypso Coral to color in all of his flowers on his shorts. This is dark Calypso Coral. I'm also going to color the little starfish in Calypso Coral. And I'm going to color the shorts in Pool Party. And then I'm going to add a little Granny Apple Green on the leaves that are on his shorts. So it's just a really pretty color combination to do Pool Party, Calypso Coral, and then a green, kind of a limey green, which is what I'm using here. So his shorts turned out really cute. I really love the colors of them. Then I used dark Call Me Clover to color his umbrella in his pineapple drink. And then I'm going to use Mango Melody to color his pineapple drink in. And then I'm going to grab some, I don't know if I get light crumb cake here or Poppy Parade, but at any rate, I went with the light crumb cake on the bottom, and then I'm going to use a dark crumb cake to just kind of add some speckles and stuff into his sandy beach that he's standing on. And then I chose to do Poppy Parade on his surfboard, and I did every other stripe with the Poppy Parade so that his surfboard would kind of look candy cane-ish is what I was going for. I thought that was really funny. And then I took light smoky slate and I went in on the areas that I chose to leave white and just did a little bit of shading on one side. And what that will do is it will make your white area look more white. And I know that sounds really weird. How can you add color to something to make it look more white? But it really does. And if you watch what I'm talking about here, you'll see what I'm talking about when I add the light smoky slate. So I'm going in, doing that really quick coloring, and then I grab the light smoky slate and I just start bringing in a little bit on this side that's next to Santa. I'm just gonna say maybe there's a little shadow there, and then you can see that other side of the board really pops and looks white. Okay, so then there's the card. How cute is this? So fun and cute, and whoever you give this to is absolutely gonna love it. So my last step was to just add the word pool up at the top of this little tab piece because I want the person to understand that they need to pull that to have it slide up so that they can see the cute image underneath. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see other videos from me, click on either image you see here, click the circle with my face in it to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have an amazing day and come back again next week for week 8 of the 12 weeks of Christmas. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon.